There you go. This is my 1972 Porsche 914. We'll start it up and go for a ride here. Oh, there we go. Alright, now I'll tell you what, shine on the dash here. You can see all the lights blinking. This is pretty cool. That means my emergency brake is on. I'll take that off now. I've owned several of these, but I've never had that actually hooked up. So this is pretty cool. And let's see. Cockpit checkout. Heaters all off. This switch is a switch for the antenna. It's electric. Okay. This switch here is a starter switch that I put in the car. It's a cheap switch, it only works about half the time, so I need to take that out and put a better switch in there. And then this switch is, I put this one in, windshield washer. And so I'll turn the wipers on. Electric windshield washer. This thing used to have from the factory a pressure, taking extra pressure off of the spare tire, and they would use that to put pressure in the bottle to squirt it, but that's a tired system. And this electric washer motor that I put in it sure makes it a lot better. Let me get my seat belt on. And this is a 914S gauge instead of the standard gauge. It has just the fuel gauge, which looks like it's a little bit low. It's got temperature gauge up here and a little bit more idiot lights than you find on the standard gauge. Tachometer, speedometer, the odometer works, that's fine. The speedometer works most of the time, but sometimes it gets stuck on 30 to 40 miles an hour and stays there. So at some point that needs to be sent off to North Hollywood or Palo Alto to get that fixed, but then it works half the time too. So, all right, let's put it in gear and see if it'll get down the road here. Get her in first gear, and off we go. This is a brand new transmission, has about 2,000 miles on it, so it shifts a little stiff still. It was built by Mike Dumont at Dumont Porsche in Oklahoma City, and he said it takes several thousand miles for the shifter to really loosen up. He did a 912 transmission for me. It turned out beautifully. Same thing. It was always a little stiff to shift it until about 4,000 or 5,000 miles down the road, and then it's smooth as butter. I'm running low on gas. I'm getting close to the reserve tank, and I've always run just straight gas in this. I've never put any ethanol type gas in it. We can get that pretty easily here in Oklahoma. And that's what I've used in this car as long as I've had it. I'll pop up the headlights and show you they work. Oops, if I can figure out which one the headlights are. There they go. And then put them back down. Works real good. So, first gear. Yeah, you can see the speedometer's not kicking in yet at all, so we'll watch that, see what happens here. Maybe it just needs a new cable. I haven't, well, let's see. Now, the odometer's still working, so I assume the cable's alright. Need to get that speedometer worked on. We're in fifth gear, we're cranking along at 2400 RPM, so we're doing 45, 50 miles an hour, so 60, something like that. Especially in the summertime, run these cars without a thermostat. I did not have a good working thermostat on my parts shelf, so I bought one. You can still buy brand new ones, new manufacturer. I got mine through aircooled.net. Gauge is just coming off the peg, so the oil's starting to warm up. About 50, 55, something like that. I'll get down here at the end of the road and we'll turn it around. And it's starting to warm up, so we'll open it up just a little bit. These 901 dog-leg transmissions, people think they're kind of fragile. They're not. You just gotta, if you try and speed shift them with them, yeah, they won't last. But if you treat them nice, they'll last forever. This is blinding acceleration on a Porsche 914. We're doing 3,000 RPM at fifth gear, so we're doing 70 miles an hour. 500. I could go faster, but I'm not going to. These things were advertised when they were new to do a true 105 miles an hour, which back in that day was amazing for a under 2 liter car. Speedometer is showing 30 miles an hour, so it's just not going to back me up on this trip. It's going to embarrass me. And you can see where the temperature gauge is here. That's right about 170, 180 degrees. This car has a Raby 9590 cam kit. It has viral cylinders in it, and the heads were new manufactured from Len Hoffman at Hoffman Automotive Machine. And it has run nice and cool as much as I've driven it. Back into the housing area here. Blinker shuts off on the turn. Get out, I'll shut it off, and I'll get my thermometer and check the engine temperature. Okay, it's got a pretty good idle. Sometimes it wavers just a little bit, but compared to most of these cars, it does great. All right, let me get my thermostat. I'm going to climb underneath the car right here. Alright, here's the oil filter. 171 degrees on the bottom of the oil filter. And bottom of the engine. $168. So we didn't run it all that hard, but it is 100 degrees out today. So, all right, that's my 72 Porsche 914. Thanks for watching, and thanks for a cameraman here.